Have you ever thought about buying a domain and then notice some of them cost $1 and some of them cost a lot more? And you wondered, why is that? Well, you're in luck. We're going to talk about that today and more. And today I'm super excited to be joined with my co-host, Justin Neely. What's up?
What
How
up?
you doing? Good to see you again.
Phenomenal. Glad to be here. So I know you got a lot of questions for me, and I'll let you just lay them on me.
So first and foremost, I think about cost and why is it there's such a range? I noticed that recently. You know, something maybe $1 to thousands. Like, why is there this range when it comes to cost for a domain?
There are a lot of potential reasons why. So if nobody owns the domain name yet, you can get a domain like a .com for anywhere from like $1 to about $20, just depending. And then if somebody owns a domain name, which that's those $1,000 that you see, they're essentially reselling it. You can think of a domain name like having an online piece of real estate, right? So
That's a
they're
good way to look
selling
at
that
it.
off, and they're selling off that name that's been around for a while, that's super unique, and that can potentially get you business just by having that domain.
Okay, and then another thing I noticed, I was so excited to talk with you, so I started just researching all this. I noticed there's .coms, and then there's also like .coffee or .wtf. So WTF, what's the difference? Like, why are there these differences?
So when the internet first began, we had just a couple different variations like the .com, net, info, things like that. Those are just TLDs or top level domains. And then we have what's called CCTLDs, which are country code top level domains. That's like a .co.uk or .au for Australia to really have a localized presence. And then those new ones that just released not too long ago, and there's a lot more releasing as we speak. Those are GTLDs, generic top-level domains. So that's the .coffee, .wiki, .ninja, .guru, .wtf, .singles. There's a plethora of names, and it was really established because all the good .coms are being taken, right? Which is where that online real estate comes in. Because if you have a great .com domain name, you could sell it for thousands of dollars.
So you want it to be short and sweet, though, right?
Absolutely. It goes back to the radio test. If you got that 10-second ad spot on the radio, and that's all you can really convey is that domain name, is it catchy and would someone remember it? Is it easy to spell? If you have crazy cool spellings with a K for the crazy, it may not work. And same thing goes with word of mouth. If you can't tell me what your domain name is really quick, I can't go back and find you super quick, it's not going to work out.
But imagine that's hard at this point in the game. There's so many domain names.
Right.
Like I imagine it's pushing us to the longer domain names in length because there's so many out there.
Yeah, in a way. I mean, some things to avoid with your domain name. You want to make sure that you don't have hyphens because that's just annoying. Like, cool, go to my website. It's this-awesome-website-com all the dashes, right?
Yeah.
Or having numbers in it. Like if I tell you to go to onecoffeeshop.com, you might type in ONE or the number 1
versus the numeral.
or WON potentially. It gets confusing.
Yeah.
Right.
And the attention spans, they're just getting shorter.
Right. Millennials can attest. Yeah. So with your domain name, those ones that are super short and sweet, they're brandable, they're for the most part worth what the cost is. So those couple $1,000s, it's really an investment in your business, and especially if it's your business name that .com is taken, it might be a good idea to spend a little bit of cash and make sure you get that.
As we're talking about domain names, I started to think, well, where do I go to get this? Where do I go to purchase a domain name?
Well, glad you asked. No, so you can go to any domain registrar. Like GoDaddy is a domain registrar, which means you can go and purchase your domain name. So, but with domain names, you don't just purchase it once and done. You actually have to essentially lease the domain. It's still yours, but you have to renew it every year. Now, most domains you can buy anywhere from 1 year to 10 years, but there are some domains with some restrictions. So you really want to check out those options.
Wait, why would that be? How come it's not just consistent across the board?
So to kind of go a little bit deeper, there are registrants, registrars, and registries. Us purchasing domain names, we're registrants.
Okay.
Then registrars are like GoDaddy. They basically are a vendor supplying domains. And we have registries, which control a .com. So VeriSign controls .com. Then you have other registries that control different domains. There's a Donuts registry that controls a lot of the new unique ones. and they set their own rules. So we're pretty much at their mercy, if you will.
Right. Okay, so I have another question for you, and that is, how do you protect your domain name? I mean, do you need to go and put yourself on the .net, the .com, in order to protect it?
Right, it's really protecting your brand. If you just blow up and become this big success, like I hope you will, you want to get the alternate endings, the next best. That way people aren't trying to just steal your traffic, or potentially your competitors getting that domain name. I've seen it happen. They'll get the .net and steal your traffic, steal your attention, and potentially slander you.
Cruel.
It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. It's pretty rough. No pun intended. And what you can do, most registrars like GoDaddy has an extra value-added service to protect your registration. So it'll protect it from hijacking, protect it if you forget to renew your domain. That happens all the time, especially if you buy it for 5 years out. Are you gonna remember in 5 years? Sometimes not. Credit cards expire. So there's that added protection that you can get just to make sure that your domain is always yours.
All right, that's a wrap. First, I want to give a huge shout out and a thank you to Justin,
Thanks for having me.
the king of domains. If you want more info like that and you have questions, definitely comment below. And be sure to subscribe to our channel.